In the words of Nene Leaks, you never win when you play dirty. Learn from this, girls. Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative. Just giving you a quick rundown of episode 5. And really, if it's your first time watching, welcome. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And let's get into the rundown before I give my awards for the episodes. So basically, the episode's starting where we left off, and Bryn is continuing to tell her backstory, and it was very emotional. Even thinking about it now has me choked up because, it's clear there was a lot of neglect and trauma, and just the fact that, she's so strong now is really touching. And most of the girls at the table were in tears, and it really made me appreciate just how resilient the human spirit is. And there's a saying that human beings can survive anything as long as we can tell a story about it. And so even though Bryn was reluctant to share because it's such a hard thing to go through, I do think talking about it and sharing it with her friends definitely is a step to keep her healing, and it's a great way for us to get to know her as well. So after Bryn's giving, and Bryn specifically, telling her life story, the girls kind of shift to checking Jessel about her comments where she calls them cackling hags. And of course, Jessel doesn't take accountability, backs out of it, whatever. So this leads to a later scene where Aaron and Jessel meet up to kind of hash things out. And then after that, Sai, Bryn, and Aaron meet up to dish about Aaron and Jessel's conversation, and also have Bryn practice for a chess tournament, which was a flop for her because she did not do well according to a little flashback of it. And then the episode kind of ends with Jessel's. It's a charity event slash exhibition of a new designer that she's trying to promote. And Jenna is the only one that doesn't show up. So we also get to see Jenna at home with her son and family, and they're doing kind of like a decorate the tree party, at their house. And the girls kind of throw shade at Jenna, and Bryn directly kind of calls her a liar for, I guess, misrepresenting how busy she was that night. But we'll get into that when I talk about the awards for the night. So that was the quick rundown. Now let's get into the queen of the episode, because now that we talked about what happened, I think the queen of the episode again is Sai. Um, Again, Sai is the one who hosts the Thanksgiving event for Brand, and it's also the event where the girls could finally talk to Jessel about how she makes them feel, and kind of the maybe unintentionally rude way that she's been coming across. And I didn't say this earlier in the short recap, but we also get to see a little more about Sai's business this episode, and you can see how driven she is, and she shows all the different products that she got for, I guess, that season of Christmas. She got like a Versace robe with her name on it. She had some sneakers, and she got some deal with Victoria's Secret to make content. And you see how really successful she has become. And she talks about how she learned to code and she built her blog from scratch. And I just was inspired by her again. So I think she's the queen of the episode, both for her being there for her friends, but then also showcasing what a boss she is and how much of it is because of her own blood, sweat, and tears, and how she's also created jobs for so many people. And she said, she provides health care for her team, and you saw there were some young girls, helping her in the scene there. They were, I think, project managers, and maybe one of them was an assistant. But it's so cool how she's able to create jobs for people, and she doesn't seem like one of those unethical, like, devil wears Prada kind of soulless bosses. Like, just the fact that she's providing income for people, but then also health care really shows that because of what she went through, I think she also has a heart for other people who are trying to come up, like those young assistants. And she seems like she's managing her business ethically. So Sai is totally the queen of the episode for me. Who my heart went out to a little bit this episode, surprisingly, was Jessel. Um, I have not been shy about my feelings about how she kind of mistreats her family, at least on camera. I don't know what it's like, in her day-to-day life, but she's not coming across as the most grateful and respectful person at all. But um when she was meeting with Aaron, it kind of got me to see her in a different light, especially because, she was very emotional about being called a princess. And then she explains how, she's an immigrant and her family descent is traced back to India, but um, she grew up in London for most of her life. And then after graduating, she came to New York. She started from scratch, and she also has an aspirational story in a way because she is starting her own business, and she basically, you know, rose up through the ranks, worked for Michael Kors, and now she's in a position to promote and help other up and coming designers like she was doing at her charity event. And even though, again, I think she is not the most tactful person, when she was talking to Erin, she also showed that she does have a heart. She has feelings that can get hurt. Because I was kind of worried there. She was coming across a little bit like Ramona for a while, and I wondered, like, wow, does she really not have any awareness or empathy or feelings, you know, for others? And is she just completely in her own world to the extent that she can't even feel, but she shows that she has a heart, she has feelings, by tearing up and all that. And just the fact that her event also was set to raise money for building schools in India, it made me see just on a different light. And I do think she's good for the show because her level of just self consciousness, I guess, um, makes her put on airs for the camera. And I think Jenna called it very well last episode when she said that Jessel is trying too hard. And that's really what we see here because in that scene with Erin, she talks about Tribeca as an up and coming neighborhood. And that's when Erin was like, wow, she's kind of delusional, does not know what she's talking about when it comes to New York, but she's pretending like she's in the know, and that's the name of her company, In the Know. She's pretending to be this insider with special knowledge, but really, she does not know about New York that much clearly as someone who's an immigrant that moved in. And Erin is totally right. Tribeca is a very prestigious, wonderful neighborhood that has arrived. It's not up and coming. Back in the 2000s, I'm not going to date myself, but that's where my Ivy League elite private school had our prom at Tribeca rooftops, and it was kind of the best of the best in terms of like location. So Jessel saying that Tribeca, is an up and coming neighborhood, is not there yet. It proves that she does not really have the knowledge or maybe social standing and awareness that she thinks she has. So Jenna really called it correctly when she said she's trying too hard. She is definitely an immigrant. She's a little bit of an outsider in the group, pretending to be, in the know, like her business said. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she has worked hard. She did have some, fashion heavy hitters at her event or her party. Um, so it's a mixed bag with Jessel. She's working, she's trying her best. Maybe she's trying too hard, and that's why my heart went out to her this episode a little bit. And in terms of who was a little bit naughty this episode, that goes to Bryn. As much as, again, my heart went out to her when she was pouring her story, I did not like the fact that she was going after Jenna at the end of the episode, calling her a liar for not coming to Jessel's party. Um, it's kind of a pattern now because she did it in the Hamptons where she was trying to get the other girls to, you know, rally against Jenna leaving the Hamptons house. And then here you see Bryn again kind of drumming up this negative view of Jenna calling her a liar, even though Jenna was very transparent and showed them that she was, doing this Christmas tree situation with her family. So it's not like Jenna lied. So I thought it was harsh for Brent to call her a liar. But again, I think because of the trauma that she's had in the past, she does have a little toxic side. And I think actually Jenna and Bryn are probably the most similar in upbringing and attachment styles. I think both of them either have a disorganized attachment style or even an avoidant attachment style. So what I think Bryn is doing is kind of projecting onto Jenna um, things that she doesn't like. So Jenna kind of pulling away from the girls to go be with her family. um, it's probably something that's triggering Bryn in a different way. And again, when Jenna pulled away, to go to her own house in the Hamptons, um, we heard that Bryn was engaged like 3 times, so I think she also pulls away from people, because of her trauma. And when Jenna does it, I think it's hitting her in a certain nerve that really is it's saying more about Bryn than about Jenna. So I think Bryn has a great story on her own. She obviously is so funny. She adds a lot to the scenes. She doesn't need to go after Jenna for camera time, but she's having a pattern of doing so. At first, I thought it was just because of camera time when it happened the first time, but now I think it's because of a deeper, maybe kind of dirty mirror kind of situation going on where she's seeing things in Jenna that maybe she doesn't like about herself and patterns of pulling away that she also, you know, does herself. So again, it's a little naughty. I hope she stops doing it. So this is why she gets the naughty award. And in terms of who's in timeout, as much as I was giving Bryn a little bit for, calling out Jenna, I think Jenna is in timeout for me because she should have um, been upfront about not wanting to go to Jessel's event in the first place. Because at the Thanksgiving dinner, when Jessel invited everybody, Jenna definitely gave a vague excuse. She was like, I don't know what I have, but I'm not going to be there. So she was acting like she had some kind of qualm with going to Jessel's party, but she should have been upfront right at the beginning, and then she wouldn't have got the heat from the girls. So I do think that Jenna is really drawing clear boundaries with the girls. Obviously, if I had to choose between my son that I only get to see a limited time, and a girl or a lady castmate who has disrespected me because Jessel probably is on her bad list for the lingerie gate, and making all those disrespectful comments about the gift that Jenna got her. So Jenna clearly did not want to go from the beginning. And in the Thanksgiving party, she makes a very vague excuse. But then she does openly FaceTime with the girls so they could see her, setting up her tree with her family and son. So she stands more in her, rejection of Jessel's party later on, when she just um, acknowledges that, hey, I'm choosing my son over Jessel any day. But I think I would have respected her more if she was clearer from Jump Street. When she was invited, she could have said, I don't want to go and been upfront about either her son being there um, or, the Christmas event. But it's giving that as much as she does choose her son over Jessel, and it is true, it's giving that she never wanted to go in the first place, and whatever came up that night was, the excuse. So I don't want Jenna to come across that way. I think it's valid what she did because, like I said, I would definitely choose family over a friend who's disrespectful. But at the end of the day, she needs to make her feelings more clear, or she's going to continue to get misunderstood and she's got to stand in her stuff. If she don't like Jess, will just say that, or if she don't want to go to an event, just say that in the beginning, and don't come up with these, smoke and mirrors, so that the girls have a reason to go after you. So that's my take. If you want a longer take on the episode, know that Tuesdays at 8:30 on the Lean YouTube channel, we definitely have panel discussions about it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you are the master of your fate and you are the captain of your soul. Bye.